What's up, ladies, gents, girls with lace fronts, dudes with kids? It's the one and only You Can't Clone Me Queen, baby. And before we get into this video, make sure you go down below to subscribe and join the queendom. And if you're already a part of this palace, hey y'all, hey. So as you already read the title down below, I'm going to be getting into episode 17, 18, and 19 of Tyler Perry's Bruh. So, with that being said, let's get into the video. Okay, so coming off of the previous episode, we remember that Bill is in the process of going to stop, ruin, and basically embarrass himself while trying to stop Regina from getting married, which is a big mistake and a big miss because she told him already, like, that's not what she want, that's not what she want to do, but he is clearly not listening and going with his own train of thought, being a narcissistic asshole and going to ruin that girl wedding. So now that we're coming into the new episode, we see that everybody is getting ready for the wedding. Everybody's at the hall, at the church, just waiting around for Regina to come, but everybody is there. Tom, Mike, John, Alice, like the girl who works at the job, like Pam and David, like everybody who you expect to be there is at the wedding, but Bill, which is the whole reason why Tom, Mike, and John is there. So everybody's trying to figure out, well, where's Bill? Like, why he not here? So while everybody's sitting there and just talking and mingling, waiting for Bill, Alice is asking, like, well, first of all, why y'all here? Because y'all wasn't invited. And two, where Bill at? Because, you know, can't really trust him. Like, where he at? And John basically tell him, like, oh, we came here early to try to stop him from coming here on a freaking horse to ruin this girl's wedding. And Alice was like, nah, y'all better stop him. Like, nah, that's not gonna go down. Like, stop him immediately. Like, no. And they like, well, we did. We tried multiple times. Like, he's just not listening to us. He don't care. He said he is coming to ruin this wedding, point blank, period. He is coming to get his girl. And while everybody is talking and mingling, Tom gets a text, and it's from somebody, one of his coworkers at the job, and they tell him that Bill is in the hospital. So come to find out, his ass done fell off the damn horse and done broke damn near every bone in his body. So ain't that nothing but God? Nothing but God. Nothing but God. So now the boys gotta try to leave and go to see and check up on Bill because, baby, falling off a horse ain't no joke, okay? So while they leaving and heading out to the hospital, Mike sees Pam with the guy David. Now, mind you guys, David is the same guy that Pam was on a date with, that Mike embarrassed Pam in front of. David is the same guy that Mike just feels some type of way about anybody that Pam with, but especially David, because for some reason David is always in the picture. But apparently, like, Pam, before Mike called himself wanting to date Pam exclusively and wanting to be with her, all of a sudden, like, she been had this date planned with David to go to the wedding with him, so she still went. And of course, like I always told y'all, she takes him as a joke, so anything that he have said to her, she's still not gonna take seriously until he start putting some action behind him. So she had her date and she for to have a good time, and she told him that, like, oh, well, I'm here with David and I'm gonna stay with him. But Mike is another narcissistic one, and he feels some type of way. He like, oh, well, I'm not gonna worry about Bill no more. Y'all boys go ahead. I'm gonna stay here with him. And everybody like, dawg, this your friend. Like, what you mean? Like, this your whole side chick. Like, you for to stay with her? And he like, yeah. Bill understand. Like, he'll get it. But of course Bill will, cause he just is. They think just like, honestly. And they like, dawg, that's kind of messed up. He like, nah, Bill will get it. And so he stays, and Pam just aggravated because she do not want him to stay. She like, what are you staying for? You need to go worry about your friend. Like, I'm here. I have a date. Like, we gonna deal with what we got to deal with later, but this is not the time. He like, no, we need to deal with it right now. She like, this is not the time. Like, what you mean we need to deal with it? This is my friend's wedding. It's about to start. Like, you making a big scene right now in the middle of the hallway. Like, no. He like, all right, I'm gonna chill out for right now. Went and sat in the middle of David and Pam, just embarrassing his little self. Like, Boy, move. Mike is just, he's so sprung over Pam. He just don't know how to act when it comes to her. And in certain situations, he just don't know how to act and just acts so childish and just inappropriate. Like, just a hot mess. But moving on. Anyways, Tom and John makes it to the hospital and they see Bill and he just look a hot mess. But while he there, he is begging Tom to get him something for the pain so he can basically get back to the wedding and just ruin everything. Like, he is so antsy. Like, he just feel like he has to hurry up and get back because, like, the wedding about to start. Now, mind you, the wedding's supposed to be start. So the fact that it ain't starting now, that mean it ain't starting no time soon. Like, you know, they keep saying black people and black weddings, like, never start on time. Which, you just gotta make sure you're perfect. So, you know. But really, it's not so much Regina is making sure everything is perfect. It's more of the fact that Regina is still confused and still having mixed emotions and really don't know what she want to do. So she is really just in the hall, just waiting around, lingering around. So Alex like, well, Regina, like, what you got going on? Like, it's that time. It's time for you to get married. Like, what you waiting for? And she just like basically saying like, I'm just trying to make sure like I'm doing the right thing and this is the man for me and all this yada 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 baba ka. She's saying all that, and Alex is trying to speak some sense into her. And although she listening and grasping what Alex is telling her, she's not really getting it. Like, she not, like, I feel like it's going through one ear out the other, but she understands and she getting it. Like, it's so weird how she's operating in this situation. Like, I really can't call it, but it's so awkward because it's like, you really want this man and you want to be with him, but you don't know if you want to wait it off because your ex, who did you dirty, mind you, is all of a sudden back in the picture. Like, that makes no sense to me. It just makes no sense. But eventually she gets herself together and prepares to walk down the aisle into her husband, Peter. And just by the lick of God's, listen, Bill makes it. Like, he literally made it just in time. Like, they started so late. Now, he knew how much time he had to hurry up and get to her because John had done already talked to Alice before they left the hospital. But it's like, dang, dog, like, how you made it? Like, they should have hurried up and started on time. But yeah, he made it to the wedding and he was able to interrupt everything that was going on. Now, mind you, he walking up like,
Regina, don't marry him. Marry me. I'm the one you want. I can marry you right now. And, like, we can be a thing. Like, I love you. I love you.
Like, he's saying all this stuff. Now, mind you, Peter over there, the husband, fiance, he over there like, bruh, somebody need to get him, for real. Now, in this situation, it's so funny because the whole time Bill is thinking like, oh, I'm for to ride on this white horse and I'm for to save my woman, I'm for to be the savior, I'm for to ruin the wedding, like, and it's just not gonna go down like that. He never thought about what Peter would do. Like, if it was me, if I'm for to marry somebody, you're not for to think it's okay to come in and ruin my wedding. Like, it's not even for to go down like that. Like, what you mean? You ain't even think, like, he ain't even think about Peter. Like, oh, saying like Peter don't matter, but he is the person that matters the most because he spent the most time and he spent the most money and this is his world. That man not for to play with you, boy. Are you dumb? Are you stupid? Oh, okay. So while he doing all this and saying all this, Peter like, hey, somebody need to get him. Nobody move, which is kind of trash because that's the whole point of the groomsmen. Like, y'all supposed to like handle that for y'all men, y'all boy, y'all men. Like, he wasn't supposed to really do nothing. Y'all was supposed to like really like, oh, alright, nobody ain't moved. So guess what he did? And he beat the shit out of Bill. Okay, beat his ass. Like, Bill was already messed up, but he got messed up even more. But we all know from the beginning of this series, like, Bill just not the fighter type. Like, he's scary. Like, he talk a big game and he dang near the biggest one out of all of them, but he's just not a fighter. Like, that's just not him. So even if he wasn't hurt, he still would have got his ass beat. And plus that man was on 10 because he just ruined everything and embarrassed him. It was a mess. It turned into a big brawl and it went down. And Regina is like, like she just couldn't believe all this happened. Like she already told him, like, I don't want to be with you. So how could this even transpire? I'm mind blowing, right? Even after the fight was done, it was broken up and everybody was gone, but just the crew was just still in the wedding hall, and everybody started talking, which is so odd and so weird to me, because this is just not realistic. Like, there's no way that it would have went down the way that it went down on this show and on this episode. But so they're all sitting around, they all just talking, and Bill is still telling Regina, like, I love you, I want to be with you. Like, what are you doing? What are we doing? Like, this man a clown, he can't love you like I love you, can't do you the way I do you, like nothing. And she like, well, I love this man. This man is amazing. He's great. He's wonderful to me. Like, you're nothing to me. I don't want you. For the uptake time, I do not want you. You need to leave. Y'all, it was dragging on for so long with him and her going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It was just so aggravating. And it got to a point where Bill got so mad. He was like, oh, well, do you want to tell him about last night? And she was like, hold up. Oh, you want to take it there? And she's like, all right, cool. You want to tell him so bad? Tell him. And he like, nah, I just love you. And he was like, and she basically was telling him, no, you don't love me. I think you were lusting over me, because it's no way possible you love me, because look how you just tried to hurt me right now. Like, one, you already ruined my wedding, so you hurt me like that. And two, I'm telling you I love this man, and you doing your best to just ruin it and try to tell him, like, what happened last night after we sat there and I told you, like, this never happened. Like, this don't need to be a discussion to nobody. And you still trying to hurt me by bringing it up in front of this man who I want to be with. So it's no way that you love me, because you still here. And he like, yeah, type thing, like, you right. And she like, nah, but you got so much to say, go ahead and say it, since you got so much to say. And he just end up leaving. The boys end up taking him out because he really don't need to say nothing at this point. And I was just so confused as to why she even wanted him to say anything. Like, that was off, and that was kind of weird, because he ain't say nothing. If a nigga ain't tell your husband that you just had sex with him right before the wedding, like, but you in it clear. So why are you trying to pressure him to saying it? So that's why when she was doing that, it was kind of making it seem like maybe Bill is right. Maybe she do want him to say something because she don't want to get married. But it's like, but she also pushing him away, y'all. It's just so weird and so odd, and I just didn't know where it was going. Like, what y'all trying to do? How y'all trying to move? Like, what's the next move? What's the chess move? Like, what is it? You want the man or you don't want the man? So eventually she said she do want the man. So when they left, she like, good, perfect. I can marry the man of my dreams, and we're gonna just be happy. And it's time for me to say I do now. Let's clean this shit up, bring the guests back in, and let's do this how it's supposed to be done. So I'm like, all right, well, that's how it's gonna go. That's how it's going down. Bye, Bill. Peace out. Y'all, Bill, Tom, and Mike and John is just in a car. You know, they just having a conversation about everything that happened. And Bill like, well, dang, I should have said something. I should have told him that she slept with me. And they like, nah, she didn't really want that. But he like, nah, she did. And they like, listen, you need to take a chill pill, calm down, reevaluate yourself, rethink things, and just go home and just take a break. And he like, all right, yeah, just take me home, because he can't function. He really don't want to be around nobody, because he really did just embarrass himself, because that girl told him she didn't want to be with him in front of all them people. So he looked stupid. And they getting married. That's what we thought, right? Y'all, tell me why John, Tom, and Mike goes back to the sub shop and see Alice there. And you know, Alice stayed at the wedding since she's real cool with Regina, so she stayed at the wedding. And she ended up telling John, oh, well, you know, Bill was wrong with what he did, but it worked. And John like, what? What you mean it worked? What worked? What? Huh? He was like, oh, they didn't get married. Wait, what? They didn't get married. Y'all, tell me why when it was the exact time for her to say I do, she said I couldn't. Baby girl, you just took us through all this, made everything so drastic and dramatic, only for you to still not get married because you knew from the beginning you didn't know if you wanted to get married. So you should have never got married, but you still tried to get married and try to force yourself to get married when you didn't want to get married. I'm so over you. Like, I'm so over her because she knew from the beginning she didn't want to get married, but it's like she forced it on herself and she forced everybody else to believe she really wanted to get married. But she didn't get married. And not only that, I'm aggravated that it's Bill that she want to. Well, I ain't gonna say it's Bill she want to be with, because we don't know for sure if she want to be with Bill, but we do know that Bill is the cause of this. Like, his parts plays a huge role in her emotions and her actions. That's just so crazy to me. Like, sis, what? We was rooting for you and you let all us down. I mean, she been let me down because she was doing the nasty with Bill, but that was shocking because I ain't expect that. And if you don't watch the whole thing, you will miss it that they didn't get married. That's why I'm so looking forward to the next episode, because I want to see how this gonna play out. Like, is she gonna go back to Bill? Like what's gonna happen? So yeah, that's that. So y'all already know what to do. If y'all like this version of my recap, y'all like this video, tell me how you feel. Tell me your thoughts down in the comments below. And last and certainly not least, subscribe and join the queen, baby. Bye.